Hello, my name is Angel Rivera, Superintendent of Mesquite ISD. I am here today to talk to you about Bond 2025. But before we start talking about the bond, it is also important to know how we got here. Please understand that we evaluate our enrollment and conditions of the buildings constantly. So about 2 years ago, we conducted a facility assessment. That facility assessment was given in this fall to a committee of 40 comprised of parents, business owners, teachers, students, and they made a recommendation in the January board meeting to the trustees about which way to proceed. In the February board meeting, the trustees accepted the committee's recommendation and they called for a bond for May the 3rd, 2025. So what is a bond? The best way that I can explain a bond is referencing a refinancing of your home. As a public entity, Mesquite ISD is bound to go to their voters if we're going to refinance our district. And that's basically what a bond is, asking the voters for approval to go forward on this endeavor. What can be paid for with a bond, you may ask? New buildings, additions, renovations, land acquisition, technology infrastructures, technology, devices, equipment for new and existing buildings, buses, and other district vehicles. Bond funds may not be used for operation costs or salaries. In the state of Texas, there's 3 funding sources: federal, state, and local. But we also have 2 funding buckets. Those 2 funding buckets are maintenance and operations and interest and sinking. The state and the federal contribute to the maintenance and operations along with local taxes. But on the interest and sinking bucket, it is only comprised of local funding, which is paid by the taxpayers. How does school funding work? Where I describe the 2 buckets, maintenance and operations and interest and sinking, our maintenance and operation rate is 69 cents. And we use these dollars for staff salaries, utilities, supplies, fuel, and routine repairs. On the other side is the interest and sinking bucket, which is 40 cents. Here, we use it for new construction, renovations, land, HVAC, roof, and buses. It is also worth noticing that since 2018, the tax rate has been lowered to 42 cents in Mesquite ISD. A lot of people ask me, Dr. Rivera, if the tax rate has decreased, how come my tax bill is higher? Well, that is due to the home value appraised to you by the Dallas Appraisal District. So let's talk a little bit about bond history. In May 2007, Dr. Henry led us through a bond of $180 million. And we had new construction, we had property purchases, which brought us to the 2015 bond, also under Dr. Henry's leadership, of $280 million. Here we had new construction such as Fraser, Hamby, Florence, Rutherford, and Seaborn Elementary. We had additional renovations of 15 schools, upgraded network, infrastructure, and information storage. In 2018, Dr. Vrooman led us to a $325 million bond, and that included the David Vrooman Vanguard High School, Woolley Middle School, Cross Elementary, Kennedy, Porter, AC New, and Vanston expansions, and 8 storm shelters at the middle schools in the way of gymnasiums. How much is the bond for 2025, you may ask? What is a $600 million bond with 1 cent increase in the interest and sinking tax rate per $100 of home valuation? It is also worth noticing that construction costs have skyrocketed over years. And in 2018, when we built Vanguard High School for $90 million, that same building today will probably cost a little bit short of $200 million if we were to build it exactly the same. So what is in this bond? This bond includes safety and security. It also addresses the growth and addresses aging facilities and equipment. Because of the way that the law works, we must break this bond into 2 propositions. Proposition A, valued at $578.5 million, provides security enhancements, added capacity to accommodate enrollment growth, and address aging infrastructure. In Proposition A, under the safety and security banner, we're proposing to replace campus fire systems that are more than 15 years old. Addition of secure entry points for McDonald Middle School and AC New Middle School. Enhanced security technology at every campus, including smart cameras. The addition of storm shelters at 8 existing and 2 new campuses. And relocating playgrounds closer to the building if necessary. Adding perimeter fencing and updating aging equipment at 26 elementary schools. Also in Proposition A is the construction of a pre-K center to accommodate the expansion and the growth in the south side. Also, the consolidation of two elementary schools, Motley Elementary, built in 1962, and Lawrence Elementary, built in 1967. Also in Proposition A, addressing the growth, is the renovating and expanding the John Horn High School Fieldhouse. Originally built for 1,300 students, we're going to expand the space because this is affecting the master schedule at John Horn High School. Also in Proposition A in addressing growth are additional classroom spaces and storm shelter campus maintenance and repairs at Perrung, Thompson, and Smith Elementary. Proposition A addressing growth also expands space in Price Elementary, which is at maximum capacity, Kimball Elementary, to replace 5 portables and additional foundation repairs, and expanding the kitchen at McDonald Middle School to accommodate the student body. Also in Proposition A, 3 of our high schools, Poteet, Mesquite High, and North Mesquite High School, where we're removing some portables, adding additional classroom space, and adding a storm shelter. In Proposition A, under the Aging and Facilities and Equipment banner, we have bus replacement cycle, roof replacement cycles, renovating restrooms at AC New Middle School, and expanding and updating our transportation center and replacing underground fuel tanks. In Proposition B of $21.5 million, the district is aiming to provide for district-wide technology replacements. So what is the tax impact to the taxpayer if the bond is successful? Using the average home value of $270,653 and applying the $100,000 homestead exemption, that leaves the home owner with $170,653 taxable value. The monthly impact will be $1.42. Of course, you're going to go to the ballot, and the ballot language would include Proposition A and Proposition B. What is worth mentioning is that if you're over 65 or receive the disabled resident's homestead exemption, if the bond is successful, you will see no changes to your tax bill because your taxes are frozen. However, the ballot language will say this is a tax increase. Last date to register to vote is April the 3rd. Early voting begins April 22nd to April 29th, and Election Day is May 3rd. Please visit mesquiteisdbond.com for voting times and locations, and also for additional information on the projects included in Bond 2025. Thank you very much.